Hi, it's a Sunday today, and we're making this video because we received this interesting inquiry here. We're making this video because it takes a long time to reply it, and since from time to time we receive this type of questions, we'd like to answer them all one by one in a long video, just to explain a few points, and this can be of interest to many people. I'd like to start with one particular point. Most of the questions in this particular email have been already answered extensively on voltaicplasma.com and beautytech.com. The problem is sometimes people don't actually take the time to read all the content, to watch all the videos, because it's on the channel, on our YouTube channel, there are now maybe certainly a good number of weeks of continuous footage of training material, presentations, treatments, results, and so on. And also, almost everything has already been written down on voltaicplasma.com in terms of training. All you have to know in terms of swelling, pain, how there's lots of examples of how it heals and the results and so on. We're keeping adding more and more case studies over time. And there's been a cumulative work that we've done over the years. So we started this work in 2013, and we keep accumulating more and more information online, both in terms of text, training material, videos, and so on. Every time that people asked us questions in the past, and we keep doing it, but less and less, because questions are always the same and we've already answered them. Maybe it's because the content is not organized well. Later on, as we gain more and more resources, which we're doing, thank goodness, we'll invest in doing that as well. Now, let's get into this particular email because it's very interesting. Now, I have been watching all of your training online. There are a few questions I haven't found answers to. I was wondering if someone can answer them for me. Is your machine a cauterizing apparatus? Now, let's go and find the answer in there. I've just subscribed for this. Let's go and Voltaic Plasma. This is where we've got to go. And the layout of this web page can change over time, but the main content is there. So there's a problem with the tabs in here, which we're going to resolve, but it's here. I'm familiarized with VA, and also this links over here, AC, electrical operation, and so on. So I'm going to stop this video. Just here, that one. You can actually go and watch these videos yourself. This is the first video we'll be putting there, which is very, very important. It shows you how the device works. Also in here, we actually put what electrofibrillation is, pickaxe and aesthetics. There's a lot of information here, and that actually will give you a good overview of what the technology is and so on in comparison with what has been in the past. It gives you, oh yes, say for example, what is the difference between electrofibrillation and rectal desiccation. We give you all that in these web pages. Once again, this one, that one. So this one is the common mistakes using plasma devices, which is quite important, but we didn't know where to put it, so we put it there. Now, let's go and try to answer this particular question. Now, cauterization is a term that is used in medicine. That's what it is. So, what we're using is electrical arcing. For cauterization, electrical arcing is used in medicine. So, there are other ways to cauterizing the human body and so on. But one of the ways is using electrofibrillation or electrical arcing. So hopefully that it is just a term. Cauterization refers to a specific medical term that means coagulating and cauterizing, and I think if I remember well, I'll have to check on that, and cutting, and is in medicine, okay, and that can be done using electrofibrillation devices or other devices using electricity and not lasers and other ways using substances and so on. So this is basically the question. Here is it's got, in our opinion, a wrong background, because a cauterizer is something that performs a certain function in medicine, and can be that function, especially in surgery, can be carried out by using electrofibrillation, other devices and substances. The same function, the same cauterization function. So because cauterization is not the function of our devices at the moment, this is not a cauterization device. Okay, so hopefully that makes it clear. If you read that, these pages, then you'll understand better, but there's more information online. We put it there online at the beginning of our history. I added on because many people had a lot of confusion in there due to claims that were made by manufacturers. So, what is the difference between the plasma pens that are being advertised everywhere and your device? Now, there are several devices out there. We've lost count even before we started in this business. They all work in different ways. They've got different operating frequencies. Sometimes the waveform we get from these devices are of different shapes. Sometimes they don't even have a shape, therefore have a lot of noise. Their design, internal design, differ drastically. So it's quite difficult to tell. There's so many devices out there. What we can say is, and okay, let me finish this one because there's more to this question, but it's very interesting. What we can say is, our device has been designed by ourselves and has been tested, and has been tested also clinically, and you can actually see the evidence of the device producing results, not only because we say it, not only because we give you before and afters, but we show you the treatment, we show you the before, the healing progression, and the afters. Not only in one instance, in several instances. And this is something unique to us. So with our device, you have the guarantee that if you get it, you're going to get the results that we get. And we show you, because everything has been tested, retested, and so on. And we keep producing more and more results, which we are publishing on our website. So I saw the watts on the Chinese. 5 watts is your 1 to 4. Yours says it's 1 to 4. Does that mean that theirs is more powerful? Could that cause too much damage? Now, we have bought a few of them, and we have compared to ours. Ours is still the far more powerful portable device there is in terms of electrofibrillation. So the ARC is the most powerful one. We bought these devices. We do not have any training material on them. We do not have any proper manual, nothing. They're very cheap, and we haven't actually extensively tested them. What we can say is our device, once again, is guaranteed to be performing extremely well, as we say it is, and it comes with the full training and the full guarantees that it comes from a company that is focusing on that. So, and there is a big brand which is Ariton, which is very well recognized the world over for this particular application. So, what they claim and what we've seen is a bit different from what we've bought online, of course. So, it's up to you. It depends on what devices you're comparing with, but what we've compared, we couldn't actually find any match. Now, I have Skink Classic RF machine. We couldn't find it online. We don't know what it is. That does all the removals that yours does, but it cannot do skin tightening or total move. I acknowledge that. I'm not sure what device it is. It works on the epidermis and not the dermal layer. Okay, I acknowledge that. Does your machine work in the dermal layer? Now we have, once again, going back, we have to make very likely another web page on that, because we got this sort of question before. If you watch this video, see where I can go to that one. Oh yes, it is here. At some point, I think it is in here, we demonstrate how we keep the power the same, and then we just increase the duration of the spot. So how long the arc is being put in place, and we show that the hole that is caused is deeper. So we may have to make a separate video on that, a separate presentation. This is a good idea, so to emphasize this particular point, because although this video is in there, it is a common question, so we may have to make a page and a video and presentations on this particular point only. So if you use any electrofiltration device, any devices use arcing, you can go as the ones that we tried, of course. You can go as deep as you want into the skin, up to the bone, and you can cause any damage that you want at any given power, provided that you keep that arc on as long as required. So if you keep the arc for long enough, it's going to go down and down and down as long as you want. So that is a fact of life, and it happens regardless, including devices like the Plexer and so on. We actually demonstrated, we have one of them. There's a number of claims made by certain manufacturers which can be disproved one by one using hard evidence, but we're not going to go there. Hopefully that explains in a way. We have to make a video on that and other information there, because we keep getting the same question over again. So once again, the machine, any device that we have tried, can go as deep as you want. Epidermal, dermal layer, anyone. We just digressing with when we started, we've got the Plexer guys that were saying that their device couldn't actually cause any damage to the dermal layer. We haven't actually, and they've got actually clinical evidence. That clinical evidence was made in order to sell it to doctor. But there was a factor that didn't actually never mention how long they kept the arc for. That's I read that particular study, which circulated in Italy and then after in the UK for quite a while. That was a particular point that wasn't there. We never actually put any effort into that because it wasn't worthwhile. And as we know now, things are the market is completely different as 2018 in the UK. We were only expecting it. So basically, we tell the truth all the time, and this is why we've been out in the market for so long. So once again, any device can actually go onto any depth that you like. It depends how long you keep it active. So that is a question that shouldn't be, well, that is not, that gives us the idea that there's no enough information about how these devices work. There's not a lot of knowledge on how the physics of electrical arcing is impacting the skin. So now, I believe that the heat goes into the dermis. Okay, that's true. But the actual damage is epidermal. Not true. Because it can be dermal, it can actually go into the bones as well if you go deep enough. I'm right on this? No. As I explained earlier on. As an esthetician in the US, my state's law says that we can do anything to the epidermis, but we cannot make people bleed. Okay, one important point is that you just actually go and check the legislation, because we found it in Europe a number of times. People have different claims. They claim that the law says this and this, and then you go and check it, there's no legislation at all. Many times. So hard and fact check things. That's what I'd say. My RF machine does leave scabs like yours does, okay, but does not make people bleed. Okay, I'm not sure about that device. None of the videos that I've watched have had blood, although the stretch mark have looked pretty red afterwards. The stretch mark, I know what video we're referring to. The stretch mark video, in that video we only showed the pictures after 5 to 6 days, because we didn't have, the person didn't send us any more pictures after that. So we thought we may not publish the result, so we might as well publish them. And we published all the results. So that's what happened with that video. So very likely by now there's no any redness in there, especially after 2 weeks on, there's no any redness. So that is just because we didn't have the pictures and we published it anyway. In your videos you said not to use anything on the skin that has been treated, but you said aftercare is more important than technique. Indeed, it is. If you watch again, well, the main problem with the aftercare is that people can get infections. If infection arise, then you get loads of sorts of problems, including scars. This is why aftercare is important. All you're doing in aftercare is avoid infections. That's all you have to do. This is all you have to do. Okay, you just do that, everything is going to be fine. But people keep putting more and more products, keep putting medications in place and so on, which sometimes are not bad per se. The problem is that some products are not designed to be put on a skin that's been treated by electrical arcing or lasers, which is very susceptible to contracting infections anyhow. So if you do that, then if you have a treatment done and you put the wrong products, which are not completely sterile, for large bacterial load, then you can get an infection. It's not good. That is what we mean. What do you use to help the swelling? To help with the swelling and preventing itching from healing the scalps. Nothing, absolutely nothing. It's no natural healing. We have a number of products which are called Bay Cream. We sell them not actively. Some people keep buying them, but they're sterile and fit for purpose. But we don't actually encourage people to use certain substances instead of others, because then they go and buy them from the chemist or whatever other source. They may not be sterile, not fit for purpose. Infection can happen, and then what they say? They say that we've asked them to buy them. So the problem is, not all products and active ingredients are suited, especially due to their preparation, because they may not be sterile, may not be fit for purpose. That is the main problem. So again, that applies to eyes as well. If eyes is sterile and we apply it in a sterile way or a way that is very likely free from major bacterial contamination, then it's not a problem talking about eyes. Can they use this substance, prednisone, another medicine or natural anti-inflammatory to help relieve discomfort? I don't know about that particular one, but in the bakery there's herbal substances which actually help, but again, is a product is manufactured and is fit for purpose. The main problem is fit for purpose. When we say that, it's got to be manufactured so that it's sterile enough to be applied on skin that is susceptible to infections. And that is a particular type of product. What exactly do you guys use for aftercare? When we actually do the treatments ourselves, which is online training seminars and so on, we use nothing. Or sometimes we tested other products, which are always sterile. But again, it's with the intent of trying to reduce the swelling and speed up the recovery process. But always fit for purpose. Sterile products. That is very important. Your video states that you should not use or wear any kind of makeup until the scabs are gone. Yes, why? Because makeup is not sterile most of the time. That is why even the ones that are mineral, we find men they are not sterile. That is why. And then you get, if no infections, many times people who wear makeup, including the mineral one, have prolonged healing. Instead of having the scabs falling off within 5 days, they fall off within sometimes 2 weeks. Sometimes the scabs don't even form quickly enough because there's an underlying infection. When that happens, then it's going to be red mark, it's going to be all sorts of problems. So it's never worth it. Every time we've got some people complaining, that was back in 2014 when we've advised a distributor not to use any makeup, and they kept using it, got all sorts of problems and infections. So that is why. Then if people want to do it, they're free to do it, but we don't actually advise on that. If there is makeup, it's got to be sterile, 100%. So we find so many that claims that we're fit for purpose. We dig a bit more into these type of products, and many of them are actually not. So they've really got to be sterile. And then if you've got a jar of makeup and you put your finger in, if your finger is not completely bacteria free, then that bacteria can proliferate in the makeup later on over time, and then it's not sterile. Although it could be sterile to start with, then it's not. So there's a number of things to take into account. That is why makeup is quite, in our eyes, not fit for purpose for this for these type of treatments in order to cover up the area during the healing progression. Once the scabs are falling off, it's not a problem. Then we can put makeup on, there's no infections that can arise. Okay, makeup if the wounds aren't open. Now, the area, sometimes there are no wounds, but you actually cause a burn. You wouldn't actually put makeup on a burn. That's another thing that is common sense. You wouldn't actually put makeup on a burn. It's not a good idea. If you just use common sense, it's not. Once again, every time we saw some problems is because people have used makeup. if you have laser treatment, it's always a good idea just to wait. Don't try and cover it up and go outside and so on, because that is going to cause, very likely is going to cause problems. You would not put makeup on a burn. Electrical arcing causes burn to the skin, and so does lasers, and so it's not a good idea. Why does your treatment differ? Differ from what? I'm not sure exactly. We haven't seen your treatment, or it depends on differ from what. If it's your device, I'm not sure. Depends on what you have. What do you use for aftercare? When do you start using it, and for how long? Now again, whatever I actually talked about there is on the website Aftercare. Just go there. Then we go on to Beauty Tech, and so the Aftercare, yeah. So you've got there, okay? So it's there. So written down on videos. Then if you go there and then you say overseas rentals, solid advertising, insurance, aftercare accommodation, then you've got something in there. Then concept form, so hopefully that's going to help you. Everything is actually very fit. Most of our customers, well, the people who buy our devices take the time to read it, because it's very important. We've made it for them, but we put it out there for everyone to use. So you can actually go there and look at the information. It's really, really interesting. It's been the fruit of years of tweaking and so on. So we thought might as well make it there for people to use. Why not? And now we're going to go back in there. So you also stay out of the sun for 3 months, even if we're in sunscreen. Yes, I live in Arizona. That is impossible. Okay, I understand that. I know about hyperpigmentation and what happens. Is there more of a chance of getting it with your treatment than with peels or laser or any other damaging skin treatments? So it's just the same likelihood. We found that we find a number of cases of hyperpigmentation, all in areas where there's a tropical areas, Malaysia, for instance, all the areas where the sun is quite intense. That is possible, but the likelihood is the same as any other treatment. Laser, peels, whenever the skin is regenerating, you get UV exposure, you get hyperpigmentation in the same way. The batteries that you use in your machine are different than ours. Possible. Can I find them online? Of course. Everything is there online on our websites. And once again, we do apologize. Maybe we are FAQ. You get FAQ, and you find where to get the batteries. You can get them from Amazon. Our customers buy them from Amazon. We tell them exactly where on our website, on this website. You go to FAQ and you'll find the answer, and people buy them from Amazon. We don't sell the batteries ourselves. We give them. Okay, you've never seen a Billy battery? Yes, okay. Are there batteries? Yes, these are rechargeable batteries. Once again, this information is online. It will also show you how to recharge the batteries. Let's have a look. Yes, okay, what are the consumables? Yes, the consumables. There you have. And you can buy them from Amazon. I'll give you the links as well. I think these two links are outdated, but that one is still good. But if you just go on on Amazon you'll find them. They're quite cheap. They're the only consumables. So going back into that, yes, the rechargeable. What size are the bent probes? If I remember well, 10 centimeters maybe. If I remember well, 15, I can't remember, depending how they're bent and so on, I can't remember exactly. We have the technical specifications somewhere, they're not all public domain, but we have them somewhere, because I remember taking the measurements for they're there. But we sell the stereo probes, and you can buy them online, once again the beautech.com website, so I'll show you again where, if you want to buy them, and it's on, go up from there, beautech, sterile electrodes. You click on there and you buy them online, very easy. So then again, yes, you can re-sterilize them, of course. How much does your device cost, and do you send them to America? We've got a number of customers who bought them from the United States. The cost of the device is on our website. Go Areton-ltd.com. It's published there. Also, the rental price for the UK is published there. Everything is published on our websites. Contrary to our competitors, we publish all our pricing. So go on Areton-ltd.com for most current prices, and you'll find them. There's a price list in there for all our devices. If so, how long would it take to get there? Normally takes in the region of 10 working days. I saw a video, not one of yours, where a woman was using LED light therapy, which I have after treatment. She was told not to use it because body needs to go through a whole inflammatory response. Any comment on that? I really would make more comfortable to do it faster. I wouldn't actually put any LED, any light therapy or anything. Just stay home. If you would like to stay home, avoid sun exposure, avoid infections. And you want to avoid infections. That's the most important thing. Don't try anything else. It takes whatever time it takes. The more you try to speed it up, normally, the more infections are high, the more the likelihood of infections. So this is why we have developed these, see whether I can find it here, right? Beauty-Tech, FAQ, see what I got here, no insurance, aftercare recommendations, this one, which is I think a leaflet, see what is there. I think I opened it there. It's a leaflet that we suggest our customers hand over to their customers, so they know exactly how to take care of their part. Okay, so because normally if they don't get an aftercare leaflet, they're going to use their own things, because as the person asking us here, people keep trying to do desperately to get that healing done as quickly as possible, and nature takes its own time. You cannot actually, you can help it slightly. The best thing is to just take your time and let it take its course. So the problem is infections once again. Does the treated area hurt afterwards? If so, for how long? Now, again, all this information has been already covered a number of times on our voltaicplasma.com website. So this is my latest video. Actually, it's one of my treatments, my third treatment. And actually, if you watch the video that is in here, see there it is, it's there. If you watch the video, then you'll actually you'll understand how painful it was because I'm talking about pain and everything else. But not only there, there's if you take the time to I've got this. If you go on the eyelid tightening or skin tightening, then when you read these sections, then there is a lot of information in writing on that, and also there is other case studies that you can see. There's also a case study on what do you call it, on the eyelid tightening, on many things, including the swelling, pain, and everything. It takes time to go through them. I do understand, but it's worthwhile. So everything is in there in detail, not only once, a good number of times. It's a lot of information in there, and we're very proud of that. That's the treated area hurt afterwards. And along, yes, we've answered the question. Basically, maybe not in this video yet. Normally, the pain is 1 day or 2 days at most, and then pain goes, and then you get the hitching and so on. Once again, I'm not going into detail there. We've gone into detail in other parts of the website. I have a tendency to swell quite a bit when having those treatments done. Is there a specific number of areas that can be done before it takes too much for the body to handle? Let's have a look. Is there a specific number of areas that can be done before it gets to be too much for the body to handle? I'm not sure whether I understand it well. Maybe you mean there's some areas that shouldn't be, where the treatment shouldn't be performed, I assume. Or we advise to actually carry out the treatment where we've actually watched it on our online training. If you use our device. If you use other devices, it's completely up to the other manufacturer to tell you where to use it and so on. But don't actually use our information. No, if you use that information with other devices, is none of our business. That is the thing. These other devices have got other specifications, other intended uses or similar intended uses and whatever else. So, but hopefully I make that point. So if you use our devices, use it on where we tell you, where we show you, you can use them. So, and you can see them on our websites and videos and so on. Everything is detailed there. Don't try it elsewhere. I've seen that you can tighten up with flabby arms. Possibly, yes. I can't remember that video, but yes, this is an application. I would imagine that getting sweat into the treated spots may not be good with having your close to rub on it. What would you suggest to prevent that? How would you protect the treated area? If you use it on this area here, well, there shouldn't be much risk of sweating exactly from there. The skin will sweat anyway. So even if you do on your eyelids or your face can sweat. So the same applies. Just don't wear anything. Just be sensible about that. So just stay in a cool place. Don't wear tight clothing. When doing eyelid treatments, are there any contraindications? Everything is in there. Once again, go to the beautytech.com website. They already sent you where to go, which is after care. Again, this one, sample consent for medical history, after care recommendations. There is there, and then if you read the eyelid tightening with all the case studies in there, then you'll have all the information. Take your time and so on. Just don't go there and download the form or copy and paste, which you can do. Oh, say for example, this is the healing progression, the swelling. do a case study on that. So much information there. It takes time to get it all, but this is just something that, because we kept developing content over the years, so it's something that every now and then I go back to it and think, well, what had a huge amount of work over the years. So going back to that, probably a bazillion more questions. So okay, that's pretty much the bulk of this video. We wanted to try and answer all these questions in the best possible way. Some of them we cannot, because we've already provided a lot of information on previous videos and content online, so review that. But hopefully that this video has been of use. It's a Sunday, and I thought it would have been a good idea to make this video that you hopefully find useful. Thank you very much for watching.